A quiet shift begins in the global economy. No explosions, no breaking alarms. Just silent agreements between powerful nations. For more than 50 years, the US dollar dominates global trade through a powerful system known as the petrodollar. It gives America enormous financial influence over the world because almost every country needs dollars to buy oil. But today, new alliances are forming, and some countries are exploring ways to trade energy without the dollar. These small changes may not look dramatic yet, but they raise a chilling question. Is the era of the petrodollar slowly starting to crack? To understand this story, we go back to the 1970s. After the collapse of the gold standard, the United States needs a new way to keep global trust in its currency. A historic agreement soon changes everything. Saudi Arabia agrees to sell oil only in US dollars. And in return, the United States provides security and strong economic cooperation. Soon other oil-producing nations follow the same system. Since every country needs oil, every country now needs dollars. This creates constant global demand for the US currency and helps the dollar become the center of world trade. But decades later, a new concern begins to grow. What happens if countries start buying oil in other currencies? In recent years, some major economies begin exploring alternatives. China pushes for energy deals using the yuan. Russia increases oil and gas transactions in its own currency, and several emerging economies experiment with trade that bypasses the dollar entirely. These moves are still limited, but global financial shifts often begin slowly and quietly before accelerating. If more countries decide to reduce their dependence on the dollar in energy markets, the demand that once supported the petrodollar system could gradually weaken, and that raises a powerful question. Could the world be slowly preparing for a post-dollar era? But the situation is more complex than it appears. The US dollar still dominates global banking, international debt markets, and foreign currency reserves. American financial markets remain the largest and most trusted in the world. Even countries that want alternatives often struggle to replace the stability and liquidity the dollar provides. Many economists believe the dollar could remain dominant for decades, while others warn that geopolitical tensions, rising debt, and new financial technologies may slowly reshape the system. So the world stands at a crossroads. Are these early signals of a major financial shift, or simply temporary challenges to dollar dominance? For now, the petrodollar system has not collapsed, and the US dollar remains the backbone of global finance. However, the discussions happening between powerful nations suggest that the world is exploring new possibilities for the future of trade and energy markets. History shows that global financial power rarely changes overnight, but when it does shift, the effects can reshape the entire world economy. Which leaves us with one final question to think about. Will the dollar continue its reign? Or are we quietly watching the first steps toward a new global financial order?